Yep.
So the Spurs foul. Should Miami go for the three right away? Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Welcome to the Ultimate Super Coach and Fantasy Sports Show. You are now listening to the Insight Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Boom shakalaka! You strap yourself in and feel the G's.
It is indeed. Strap yourself in and feel the G's. And with me this afternoon, welcome Hoopers, is my man, Mr. Jake Skidmore.
Matty G, thank you very much for having me on this draft show, mate. Can't wait to get fuck into it. Let's go.
Mate, I know that you are... You've shown me spreadsheets. I'm like, stop it. My eyes hurt. There's just numbers everywhere on yours. You were absolutely always pumped about a draft, and I love that for you. I know that one of the other blokes that we use with Inside Fantasy Sports, one of our absolute legends, Matty O'Brien, he doesn't like to draft rookies.
No.
So fantasy purposes wise, look, it depends on what you're building at the end of the day. So you always take, much like we will today, I guess, for a draft, you take the best available player in your fantasy draft when they're available. And if you think that that best option for you is an earlier round than some other punters may take him, that's where you might be able to get a steal come draft day, especially if there's upside. So I think we all know where number one is going today, Skiddy.
Yeah,
The San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, definitely Brandon Miller, isn't it?
Brandon Miller, is he not getting some stash in early? No, mate, look, we all know that it's going to be Victor Wembanyama. So bit of a plot twist for you today because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is it that Mickey Dell says? Children of all ages. We're going not to do that. We're automatically taking Wemby off our draft board. So you and I know it's the consensus number one pick. Let's, though, instead have a bit of a chat with where we think he might go in a fantasy draft, what's his potential and where you could get him. Because either one of us gets the first ball in our draft, we're going to take Wemby. So it's a free shot as far as I'm concerned.
100%. That's fine. I mean, I saw the opening installment of the basketball NBA Fantasy Sports Podcast. So that was fantastic, by the way. Great job hosting. You absolutely nailed it.
Well, thank you. Good listening. Good sitting there in your car on the way home from work, Skiddy.
You get me all the company on my way home from work, so that was fantastic. So, I think you, Braino, Matrix, and Big Horse, they did a fantastic job. So brought a lot of good points and really got us excited for the upcoming season. So, but I did hear where the boys were saying where they were going to pick Wemby coming into this next, coming into the draft, and they were saying that they wouldn't take him anywhere before 40. Not for me, Matty.
I'm with you. I said 40. I think Matty said. Whereabouts are you taking him, Skid? Let's say, and our baseline is this: 12 team draft, 12 players. So let's just do that as our base.
So 12 team, 9 cat. That's what we're doing, right?
Yep.
No worries at all, mate. When it's coming down to there, it obviously depends on my first pick, right? Because we want to make sure that we get whoever we're going to pair Wemby with is got to be making sense with him, all right? Because we've got to look at it in 9 categories to make sure that what he brings to the table is going to be what's going to work for our team. So we don't want to be taking him with someone that's going to be high steals or high assists in most cases. Sometimes it can balance out, but what we want when we look at Wemby, right, 7'5", absolutely unbelievable. We've never seen a player like this, right? But when we look at his stats and he's getting 21 points per game, he's hitting 1.6 threes a game, he's getting 10 rebounds, 2.2 assists, almost a steal, and then 3 blocks per game with, insanely good free throw shooting for a center as well. So when you're looking at that ticks off most of the categories on the board. I know it's not a direct correlation between the NBA and the France League, but he's already playing against grown men. That's the main thing there. That is a bump above college. So I'm looking at those stats and I'm sitting there going, if he does exactly that, that's a top 30 player right there without no worries. And that's only in, that's with his averages. He can go higher than that. He can go lower than that. We all saw that 37-point game he had against Scoot. So we know what he can bring to the table. No one's blocking that shot. Obviously, he's going to go to San Antonio. He's going to have Greg Popovich, the greatest coach that he could ever have. And, he has so much potential, unlimited ability to be able to do this. as I've said to you, the only thing I worry about is him not having a bona fide point guard to make sure that they run the play, run the pick and roll, make sure that he gets the spots that he needs to get to. But if they can pick someone up in free agency, I'm even more convinced. But right now,
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you right there. I'm gonna say I'm taking him in the third round if he's available early where I'm looking for him. Not a lot of players at the rookie years get there. I'm just looking there possibly as he profiles. It's good. As you said, he's got grown man. I guess the last compare of that was Luka. He's got a bit of that blood in him. I am a little bit worried. Look, let's look at these minuses. He's faced a lot more traps and a lot more eager defenses in the latter half of the season with people figuring out his game a little bit. He's been a little bit, I won't say, he's been a bit slow to read it. So for me, if I'm looking at Wemby, I want him to make better decisions on the floor. I would be very happy for him to come away with 18 points a game, 11 rebounds, but up his assists to 4.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of that ball a lot sooner because he's basically at Metropolitan, he's a score-first guy. That's what they're asking him to do. Obviously so. Then that's what happens when you're one of the best potential players of all time. Yeah. So, look, let's say Wembanyama, possibly you'll be looking, if you really, really want him in your fantasy drafts this year, I don't know many leagues that will be having him still around on the board after the fall. So you're going to have to jump at the round early if you want him. And if you want him and you need that rebounds and blocks, or you can make a build around there, fantastic. He's going to help your rebounding out. I'm hoping that he gets his field goal percentage will be negotiable at this point. I've got to see him roll it out. So that's the other thing. He can knock down his free throws, but his 3-point percentage, he makes them, but he shoots a lot of them. So it's only 27 to 28% the last time I looked the other day.
30%.
So it's going up to 30. So it's still not an efficient 3-point shot on him. So he's finished up at 30% at the end of the day. That's not that efficient. Yeah, exactly that. So Skiddy, we know that Wemby's off the board. Let's do it. We're going to go through the first round today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just get through the first 15, 20. Got the 2 balls in, 1 and 2. Skiddy, as the guest, you will be the ball 1. I will be the second ball. And now we will negotiate our picks. Oh, thank you. We'll see where we go with our picks from here. And it's 2. It's me. Oh, Charlotte Hornets.
Please do.
Oh.
Please do what the Hornets are apparently going to do and stuff this up. Please, Matty.
Oh God. This is not a quandary for me. Again, like in your NBA fantasy drafts, as we tell you, boys and girls, you want to take the best available player with the best available pick. And the best available pick in my mind is Scoot Henderson.
Yeah.
Though we're playing fake GM today, Skiddy. I don't know if I'm there, I don't know if I'm taking him.
Okay.
You've got LaMelo Ball. We've had this argument before. Why do I need to bring in another point guard? Are you going to have to shift LaMelo or one of these? We've all seen how well it works out with the Atlanta experiment with these 2 point guards. We didn't have 2 point guards run the floor very well over in Portland years ago with the CJ and Dame thing. The Hornets are in a very interesting situation. Obviously, we're just recording this today as it's been officially announced Michael Jordan is selling his stake in the franchise. And I touched on that. I said, I don't know how interested he is in owning the team anymore. New ownership could come in with a brand new vision. If that's me, I would be looking to offload LaMelo, get back something real. I would be looking, I think, he does a lot for the organization. I'm looking to move him, Bridges. You got PJ Washington. This is why Brandon Miller for me is if I'm bringing back Miles, and I've got PJ Washington, who's been excellent. Oubre, I think, is a free agent this season. Is Kelly is a free agent, or he's still in
this year or next year? He's either this year or he's got 10 mil left 1 year.
Yeah, exactly right. Look, I'm just going to take him off the board because I think he's the best player and I could do something with it. But I'm going to take Scoot Henderson with the second pick. I couldn't do it. I couldn't leave him out. I am not the Charlotte Hornets organization. I will not have that.
Very nice.
I know there's a lot of talk that they're going to take Brandon Miller, and I think it would be the stupidest idea for them to take Brandon Miller. I mean, no disrespect to Brandon Miller. I think he's a great player. I've loved what I've seen from him. I think he can be a very good NBA player, an NBA starter.
He's grown man. He's a grown physical
Yeah,
form
yeah.
guy, 6'9", all of him out of Bama. That dude is he is ready to play in the NBA.
And he's not filled out yet either. So if he puts on some muscle, that he's going to be a tough bloke to guard. I'll tell you that much. And you see how he can create his own shot and get those 3-pointers going in there. I really like what he can do. But Scoot is, I think Scoot could be one of the best point guards in the NBA in a few years. And 6'2", 6'7" wingspan, and this bloke can just get to the mid-range whenever he wants. He's got that mid-range pull-up. If he works on the 3, which I've seen he's been doing with Steph Curry, I mean, it's not even a question because he's got the defense down low. Yep. He's got the athleticism. What I keep saying is he's like Westbrook light. You know what I mean? Like his fantasy.
He's got that dog. He's got that dog in him like Westbrook.
Yeah.
I think there's a competitive energy to him. He's got the athleticism, but I also think that he has a better defensive acumen.
Agreed. It's on the steals. It's on that perimeter defense, and he gets after it, and he wants it. But then also too, what you notice is when he goes for that steal, a lot of players will just be like, "Oh, I missed the steal, bugger! How that sucks. Yep. Someone else can cover for me." He will work his butt off to get to the spot and then get to where he needs to be, and then defend that player. And I really, really like Scoot coming in because I think he can be not only massive in NBA, in actual games, but also for fantasy.
So I think that brings me back then to my pick because obviously that means you're taking Brandon Miller straight off the board. Why do you reckon Brandon is a good fit in Portland? The third pick.
I mean, look, let's be honest here. We've all heard the reports. They're probably trading the pick. And they're probably trading anything that they can that's not named Dame Lillard to keep Dame Lillard to stay. So I don't expect if they do pick Brandon Miller or if they get Scoot Henderson to fall into their lap, I mean, it's probably going to get traded. And wherever they go to, I still think they're going to be great players. But when you look at when Brandon Miller's his playmaking's not there yet. But his obviously scoring ability is, and he's got the athleticism, he's got defensive strides to be able to be there. But yeah, if he's going to be there with Dame, I think it kind of foreshadows Brandon Miller a little bit, just because he needs he's got that ISO scoring ability, where Dame's going to have the ball majority of the time. It's more of Miller's going to need more of the ball to be as impactful as he's going to be. I mean, I don't think I'll take Miller in a fantasy draft. High. I want him to drop a fair amount before I actually look at taking him. But, he's got, when you look at Miller's stats, we've got 18 points per game. He's hit almost 3 threes a game, which is unbelievable, on 38%. So that's fantastic.
But he's doing that at an excellent clip. He's got an excellent clip for a bigger fella.
That's catch and shoot, and while he's moving threes, because he can hit those moving threes, and he can hit them, no worries. He's fantastic. He also gets the rebounds, which is fantastic to see. Not a lot of assists, and his defensive stats are about 1-1. So they're not too bad, but when you kind of translate that to the NBA level, it's in the first
probably
year,
beneath that. You're looking at about 0.7, whatever. You're going to have to make it in the NBA.
Yeah, roughly about that. I mean, when he's in the system itself, maybe we'll see how we go. But his shooting numbers are going to be fantastic. It's just if he's going to get enough touches to be able to do that. In Portland, I wouldn't see it. But if he went to another team, say if Detroit moved up, that could be something that could work. That's not too bad. They have a position of need there in Detroit at the small forward since getting rid of Sadiq Bey. So, I mean, that could work, even though thank God they got rid of Dwayne Casey because their offense was horrible. But we'll see how it all plays out. But I fully expect Portland to trade the pick and try and get some bigger names there with Dame first before they try and trade Dame off.
So I guess that brings me back to the 4th pick for me then, because I've taken
Scoot.
You've taken mate.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that.
Now, this is the Houston Rockets pick. I'm looking positionally for them. This might be the first one where I either snipe a guy or you might not like my pick.
Oh,
I'm looking deliberately at need for this.
Okay. So it's a small forward.
There you go. I'm taking Cam Whitmore from Villanova.
Damn. Okay.
I'm taking Cam. You like that?
That's fine. That's fine with me. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
I'm taking Cam. Look, if they get back James Harden in the fold, even without James Harden, they've got guards around. They've got Kevin Porter. They've got Jalen Green. I've got Jabari Smith Jr., so I've got my power forward. I've got Şengün holding down my middle. I've got a bunch of really nice middle, Kenyon Martin Jr. he's a Tara Eason. I've got that, but I need a small forward or someone who can roll down to the shooting guard. I am with the 4th pick taking Cam Whitmore only because of positional need. This is irrelevant for fantasy basketball unless it's wild, wacky season, especially if they get Harden back. I am looking to Houston again, and I've said it before. I would like to see them have some organizational priorities. I'd like to see them play the game of basketball and start to develop a winning mentality, even if they suck. And they're probably going to suck. They could have some great flashes and some highlights with a bit more discipline in their system. Yeah. They pretty much didn't respect Silas. That's done. They're growing up. Green is his 3rd year in. Porter is Kevin's Kevin. But Jabari Smith Jr., I don't think has a losing mentality about him. And I think being in the organization last year, I think that it's a very good parting of ways with the system. I think they're trying to bring it back to a state of winning in Houston. So I'm going to fill a need, and I'm going to take with the 4th pick, Cam Whitmore. 5th pick to you.
I love it. Just quickly on the Houston one, do you reckon in the actual draft, do you reckon they take Thompson, or do you reckon they go for position and go for Whitmore?
Yeah, I reckon they'll take Whitmore or Hendricks. I reckon they'll either do that or they'll do another, or maybe Jarris Walker. That's my feelings is they're going to go for a forward spot because they can pivot there, and then they can play one of them as a small. So that's probably where I'm thinking, but I don't see them taking a Thompson twin just for the sake of it. There's too many guards there, especially with pressing to get Harden back.
I am thinking and hearing also a little bit of chatter. If Harden comes, Thompson's out, and they're not going to take him. But if Harden doesn't, they are leaning towards taking Thompson. And I mean, I wouldn't mind it. KBJ's great, but he's not that guy. You know what I mean? But if you have this chance, again though, it's hard. Overtime elite makes it very, very hard to know what you're getting because it's so new. Like, you know, you just don't know what you're getting out of the Thompson twins, even though I do like them. But, okay, so my pick to Detroit.
To Detroit with the 5th. Who are you taking, Skiddy?
Detroit with the 5th. I mean, if M. Thompson is on the board, I still don't think Detroit take him. Just because
they still have a lot of drafts too, apart from Cade.
Oh, mate, Cade and Ivy already, like, you know, we saw a little bit of it last year. I want to see how it goes this year, but, you know, I think they both need the ball in their hands, and then Thompson throwing that in, that's a third bloke with the ball in their hands. I don't want to give him to you, but I'm going to have to give him to you. I'm actually going to go and take Taylor Hendricks instead of Thompson.
That's not a bad shout. Okay.
So I'm taking him. I really, really like Taylor Hendricks out of UCF. 15 points a game. Almost 2 threes a game as that stretch floor big man, and his defense is just fantastic. I love watching it. 1.7 blocks, and they all come pretty much from the weak side. And then he's also able to get up right there and protect the rim with. Also, he's able to get 1 steal a game, so that's fantastic defensive numbers. I don't know if he's going to be a massive talking point for fantasy year 1, unless you're going to. I don't think he's going to be able to get massive. Defensive stats, but like he does everything well. That he is like what Jabari Smith Jr. was coming out last year. Let's just hope that he can shoot better than Jabari and not give a certain host of a basketball podcast as much headaches as Jabari did last year. So
mate, I'm drafting him again if he's there late. I'm just doing it. I like his game on some level. I don't know why. I watch him. I'm like, you like the game of basketball and you can play it.
It's all right. It's first year
for a coach that wants to suck.
Also, too, you got to remember, Jabari's not a shot creator, same as Hendricks. So he really needed a point guard that's able to facilitate and really get him right in those wide open spots. Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. ain't that. They really, they're more ISO ball boys that love to shoot threes and like to get to the rack. They don't like passing. So, it was very hard for Jabari. I think another season under it, he's going to, try and get it a bit more. But when I'm looking at it right now, Detroit, they need to make a decision because Bagley, no. Wiseman, not yet. Duran, like him. And can Hendricks play alongside all of them? Yes, he can, but not at the 3. But I think he's better than Bagley now. So I would take Hendricks if I was them. If Whitmore was already off, I think Whitmore probably goes to Detroit at 5.
And I've done that. Thank you very much.
Exactly right. So, but yeah, I'm very happy with Hendricks.
So in 6, then it's back to me for the Orlando Magic.
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm taking Amen Thompson.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Yeah, he's at this point now. It's like the Thompson twins are starting to switch. I'm not going to put that egg on my face. Look, he is going to be one of the absolute most insane athletes. He's got shades to me. Like if we do the comp, he's like a taller Ja Morant. He's got that athleticism, as you said before, that Russell Westbrook like athleticism. And say what we want about Westbrook over time, we've all got to say, even when he was putting up triple doubles, like we complain about it when it's him. When it's Luka, it's like, oh look, Luka gets a triple double. At the end of the day, you've got to put some effort at some point in time. Yeah. And the man was an electrifying athlete at the same time. Oh, yeah. I think if this is where you're taking Amen Thompson, 6'6", 214 pounds. He profiles very, very well as a shot creator as well. 7-foot wingspan.
Great passing vision from him as well. He looks like he can understand the offense beautifully.
And if you rotate him probably an approach with Markelle Fultz, who can draw attention, that's a nice little backcourt to build around there. You've got a beautiful setup there with Franz Wagner. You got Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. Like I like Orlando. I think they were a great league pass last time. I think the Orlando Magic are going to be again this year one of those sneaky league pass teams where you end up watching them being like, are these guys okay? Are they all right? And look, you've got old mate, you've got Suggs there. He's developing, but him and Cole Anthony, I don't think are long for the organization. So I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those two guys. Yeah, you like that one? I think one of those guys.
I agree with Cole Anthony. I think he's got to go, but I really like Suggs. Suggs' defense.
One of them has to go soon.
Oh yeah, it's got to be Cole though. It has to be Cole. But then
shout out to Obama.
Jeez, righto.
Yeah. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Cole that goes. So with that, I'm definitely taking Amen Thompson with the 6th pick to the Detroit Pistons. 7th pick then back is to the Indiana Pacers.
Indiana.
What do you reckon they need? You're in the Pacers zone.
I am in the Pacers zone, and this is a tough one because if you're really looking at Indy, they had that trial experiment with Sticks, Jalen Smith. God, no. Thank God I don't know how you lose your spot to a 6'5" Aaron Nesmith. That was the Boston reject, but whatever. He did. So they need a power forward big time. And I think in the actual draft, if Taylor Hendricks is there, they'll take him without a doubt. Obviously, he's already gone off our board. So this
is where we're playing power forward swaps. Pretty much, it's like whoever takes one takes the other.
Is it though? Am I going to do that? No, I'm not. Ooh. I'm actually looking at the other position of need, and that's the shooting guard position to then get a bit more defense in there. And I'm taking a Sir Thompson. So I'm taking that instead to bring a bit of perimeter defense. Obviously, Andrew Nembhard did a very good role in that last year, but it's just not. He's not that. He's not that. So that's why I'm bringing a Sir in. We don't know 100% what we're getting from the Thompson twins, but what I can say is athletic, good defense, good ability to read plays as well. Pair that with Tyrese Halliburton, who is big time in my book. I love Tyrese. I reckon.
You love Hallie. You're a very big Hallie guy.
Even though his shot looks like it should be sent to the morgue and then reconstructed and then go again, it works. So that's fine by me. So if they bring him in there under Coach Carlisle, I know the Thompson twins have some shooting difficulties, but then again, we look back, what was it, 2 years ago when there was this amazing playmaking point guard out of Australia by the name of Josh Giddey, who apparently couldn't shoot, and hasn't he proved some people wrong? So if the Thompsons could be anything like Gids, then hell yeah, like I'm in on them. So yeah, I'll take a Sir Thompson.
Mate, good picking. I like it. Now, look, we'll get after the top 10. We'll have a look at like the not must draft guys. I think putting must draft on. You've got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to lose your fantasy season. We'll have a look at the top 10 guys and be like, who are we going to keep on our radars and maybe in what round later on? 8th pick, the Washington Wizards.
Oh, here we go. Tough.
No, absolutely. For me, it's a no-brainer because I don't know what Bill's doing. I don't know what we're getting back with Bradley right now. That no trade clause is a humdinger. So in that, let's roll back. My guy has, I think, absolutely brilliant instincts. He's one of my favorite point guards, and he's a bigger point guard. I'm taking Anthony Black with the 8th pick.
Okay. Right.
I am taking Anthony Black. I need a point guard there. There's no point guard currently. Like they've got this Monty Morris thing that doesn't seem to work, and they're putting. I don't like it. He's big and athletic. He can defend. He's got a great motor. He's played really nice playmaking. His shooting isn't great, but then again, if I've got to basically, my job as a rookie is to pass the ball to Bradley Beal or somebody else, it's kind of where I'm looking for a position of need. And let's be honest, they've also got a chance to take a small forward, depending on what Kuz does, because I'm sure he's going to decline his option and pick that up. So you probably might be looking at a small forward, power forward as well. But again, we're doing this a week out. We don't know what's happening in the next few days. But right now, let's just say they pick him up or he declines it. They want to get him back or bring in some talent. They need a point guard in the Wizards. Yeah. And at this point in time, I'm definitely taken with who's left on my board. I'm looking at Anthony Black. And I think he will be a back end of the draft pickup. Because there's not going to be a lot going on in Washington if they blow it up. So you might be looking at that if we're doing a 12-teamer. 12 guys, you might be looking him up in the last round as one of those rookie flyers, second last round. They're going to need to put points on the board. They're going to get, if you're looking for points, some assists. Look, his free throws are negotiable. I think there was 70, like just almost 71% coming out of college. So it's not going to kill you. It's not going to be but he's. I just think he's got that Westbrook kind of thing again. Like him, there's a few of those flashy point guards coming out. There's no one else that I'm taking around that time as a point guard that's going to bring me something. So I'm going to take Anthony Black.
Fair enough. So that gives me the Jazz at pick 9. I'm just saying right now, Matty, you could have taken Black a couple of picks later and you still would have got him. Not for me, but that's all right.
I don't know what's going on the next couple of rounds. I'm filling my needs early because this profile, this draft, there's just an absolute stack of shooting guards.
It's an abundance of these 6'5" to 6'9", just big built blokes that everyone in the NBA wants, and it's just like, here they all are in one draft. All right, sweet, no worries.
And that's why I think there's a high top end. There's a really high ceiling on this. Then there's this middle factory floor shenanigans going on. And then we're going to have the guys who are out of the league playing the Sydney Kings in a few years' time. Yeah. So bring them to the NBL, get the marquee players in, former NBA star, whatever, get them down here. I don't care. But for me, I'm just taking a point guard because I need it. And it's, again, position. I look for position of where I need to fill. And, again, this isn't what I'm doing for fantasy. It's what I'm doing if I'm a GM. And the Wizards haven't got a great history, so I probably stuffed it up like they will.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah.
Sorry, Wizards Nation.
Yeah, well, let's be honest here. Their last picks have been absolutely shocking. I mean, Kispert was crap. Davis was crap. Avdiya's just showing a little bit of defense now. But just a little bit. Like, you could have gotten heaps better players in that time, but whatever. 100%. Obviously, the scout for the Wizards has no idea like us. So,
And by the way, I know who you're taking. And I know who you're taking now from the Wizards. From the Jazz.
If you want a real scout, come message me. I've got you. It's all right. I'll
slip into the DMs.
All right.
Yeah, that's the other G Wiz, their mascot. I think you're going to take Bilal.
Oh,
you said you were going to take a French for me. A French for you.
I do. But
I know you like your French boys.
Not yet. I'm looking at him in another one. No, because what Utah need, right? I really enjoy Utah. I'm a big Markkanen fan. Really love how Larry has just really personified himself and come into the league and really shown what he can do. He's finally been given that chance to be able to do it. So I really like what Laurie does. So I want to take a guy that can really be put around Laurie and really, really showcase what he can do as well. So what's going to happen here is I really like the core that Utah are starting to bring in. Walker Kessler, Larry Markkinen. They also got JC, Jordan Clarkson in there. They got Colin Sexton, the young bull. So they've got a couple of guys there. What I look at for what they want and what I think they are going to do. Oh, actually, no, I'm actually changing my. No, I'm changing my pick actually. What they need, I don't trust Colin Sexton as a starting point guard. Neither does Jordan Clarkson. So what I'm going to do is pick my first point guard on my board. Point guard after Scoot and after the Thompson boys, ahead of Anthony Black on my board. Cason Wallace out of Kentucky. Cason Wallace. I really like what he can do. 6'3" guard with a 6'8" wingspan out of Kentucky. Why I like him more than Black? One simple thing. That is, he's shown the point guard pedigree that we love to see. And two, it's that Kentucky factor, baby. Kentucky guards always get that bump. Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Every single time you think that they're just not as good as you think they are, at Kentucky, they come into the league and they just blow up. So when I look at 45% from the field from a point guard that's 6'3", yes, tick. 1.4 threes, that can come up, no worries. He's already averaging 4.3 assists, 3.7 rebounds as well. He gets 2 steals a game, and he's got 75% from the free throw line. I love what I see out of Wallace. I know that Kentucky play their systems really, really well, but I really, really like what Cason Wallace can bring and what he can bring to the NBA. So Utah, if they get Cason, it's massive. Massive.
Yeah, I like that for you. And I'm actually kind of very glad that you left my next pick there, because I reckon if I'm looking at the Mavericks, I'm taking at 10. Who I'm taking? I'm taking Jarris Walker.
He was the one that I was going to say, and then realized
I am taking Jarris. I am taking that forward spot with the Dallas Mavericks. Out of all the forwards, he has the highest stocks, steals and blocks. So for me, I'm looking at him as well in fantasy later on to see where I can get some extra defensive stats in my fantasy drafts. Look, he's got good size, great, pretty solid athleticism. Apparently, he's been interviewing around very well. So every time that he's come to one of the organizations to interview, they like what they're showing. So I think it's driving his stock up. I would not be surprised if you see Jarris Walker go off the board earlier. We've got him at 10 right now. Of all the guys that I've got earlier on, apart from the Thompson twins, they've got fantasy impact. Wemby, massive fantasy impact and upside for how that's going to shake out your drafts. Scoot, obviously, he's going to be a consideration on my fantasy draft day. I think the next guy that I'm looking at with position of opportunity, so you've got to look in your fantasy league about who's going to get you minutes, who has opportunity, and what are they going to be able to throw in there. So let's say Kyrie stays in Dallas. You got Luka. As of today, they have officially declined Christian Wood, so there's no big middle man there. Yeah. There's no reliable, dependable forward, I don't think, in Dallas. There's not a lot going on. So where's your third option? What's your third option going to do? Well, your third option is going to probably get you between about 10 to 14 points a game, 3 to 6 rebounds, couple of assists maybe, and they need to defend. And if they can do that on good efficiency, because they're standing there knocking down shots, which Jarris can do, 34%, 35%. His free throws can come up like 65%, 66%. Not ideal, not great, but look, it can be worked on. He's a good pick, and if I'm taking him at number 10, and I'm Dallas after pulling a bit of a number on the NBA just to balk at that to get a decent pick, I'm taking Jarris with the 10th pick, and as the Dallas Mavericks, I'm pretty bloody happy with that.
If Jarris falls to them, which I don't think he will, I'd be stoked, and I'd be so happy with the tanking that I did to be able to get Jarris Walker in, because I see exactly what you're saying. I love what you're saying. I walk with you on that one.
I walk with you.
Perfect. I walk with you.
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, look, I like him. I think he's great. I'm going to enjoy watching him play, and I think we're looking at it like you can take any of these guys early. Like what we say. Yeah. I mean, we're trying to be the best experts we can be here, but we're not the organizations trying to put bums on seats. And these guys, again, it's the draft of the middleman. It is the middleman draft. I know I'm calling it the middleman draft because these are the guys that there's your generational talents there. There's your organizational pillars like Scoot. And then there's the guys you love having. Like, he's a great teammate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like those, we're going to have a lot of those teammate guys in 5-10 years where you hear stuff about them. And you're probably going to get some of these blokes as well being like, but I can do more. I'm like, really? Yeah. You can? You never profiled as that, and you're still not.
He seems like
they'll get
Walker seems like
Bones Highland. Bones Highland.
Ship off, yeah. Geez, wouldn't he be pissed as well? Like just missing out on the
Do you think Bones cares? Do you think he cares? He's like, nah, it's all right, man. I'll get my time to shine. We're dope with the Clippers.
Yeah, I'll get my time to shine on the Clippers behind Russell Westbrook now. Like, oh, you idiot! Like,
not doing it. Okay, so before we get to your next one, Skiddy, which is the Magic pick from the Bulls, you heard my thoughts about the fantasy impact. Anything that's really standing out for you in the top 10 fantasy-wise, or anyone you're looking at to pick up in some round?
So, yeah, when it comes to the players for like actual fantasy kind of looks at it, Victor Wembanyama, obviously. I'm looking at him top 30. Top 30 for Victor, no worries. Scoot, then I would look at Scoot. It just depends on where he falls into. If he falls to if Hornets take him and he sits on the bench behind LaMelo and Terry Rozier, no thanks. Yeah. If he can get to Portland or then get traded onto anywhere else and he's the starter, clear-cut starter, yeah, I'm taking Scoot. Brandon Miller, I like it. Depends as well. He profiles very well. It looks like he can get about his 4 categories with percentages, scoring, rebounding, maybe a couple of defensive stats. We'll see how we go. But yeah, like him. The Thompsons, if they can translate what they did in Overtime Elite into the NBA, then geez, these guys are going to be unbelievable for fantasy. And my God, we can take them wherever the hell we want because the steals, the blocks, the assists, the rebounds, the points, yeah, we can take all of it. The field goal percentage, everything. All right, sweet, no worries. Give me 7 categories out of pick, 100 or something like that. No worries. Yeah. Other than that, Hendricks, Walker, who else we have? Black, Wallace, and Whitmore. I'm not touching Whitmore. I think he has to have time to grow. I'm not in on him in fantasy this year. Jarvis Walker, maybe. Good defensive stats. Let's see if they can translate. I would say he's going to be a waiver wire player, and if he shows that he's got the position, like in the role, take him 100%. Taylor Hendricks, I could feel pretty comfortable with taking Hendricks around like the 120, 100 mark, something like that, where I'm taking a bit of upside. Yeah, I could see Hendricks as long as he falls into a good position. Let's say, say he falls in Detroit, I'll be happy with that. If he falls in Indiana, yes, I'm in. I'm in if he gets to Indiana. Happy with that. And Black, Black would be a last round flyer. Let's say he gets to a team that doesn't have a point guard. I'm in with that. Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, let's go down with you, mate. Number 11. We're going to fly through the next 10 picks. You've got 11. You got the Magic from the Bulls. Who are you taking? Let's go.
Magic from the Bulls. I know what you want me to do, and I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, everyone that's watching. I am not bringing Suggs' dick into this.
No, give the people what they want.
No more Suggs dick. I'm winning this. No Suggs dick. So I'm taking my...
You're not taking the dick. Just to clarify, you are not taking the dick with the 11th pick.
There is no dick to be taken here. So when we're doing this, Matty G, you took... did you take a Thompson? You took a Men Thompson, didn't you?
I did. Asu's gone, yeah.
So with that in mind, that would mean that it would be Fultz, Thompson, Wagner, Banchero, Carter so that means I'm kind of, I'd have to, there's no more starting positions there. So to fill a need where they'd have, Suggs, Anthony, maybe Isaac if he ever plays, Mo Wagner, that's a deep team. I'm just going to take I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the best player that I have on my big board right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit, you may not agree with it, but that's okay because it's my pick for the Magic. I'm going to draft them a better backup center than Mo Wagner, maybe a switchable power forward. I'm taking Leonard Miller.
Leonard Miller.
Oh, my God, it's so juicy.
Leonard.
That is a bit out. I had him. Yeah.
I really like Leonard Miller.
I liked him. Yeah, I'm
Really
looking.
like Leonard Miller out of the Ignite in Canada. 16 points per game as well. We've got to remember he's for the Ignite, so already in the G League against actual.
He was an
men.
outstanding rebounder. He was an absolutely. He was a dominant rebounder who could knock down free throws as well. I think he was in the 80%, about 80% free throws.
79% from the free throw.
79. There you go.
10.1 rebounds. He shot the threes at 0.3%, but he averaged under 1 a game, but that was more game style. In only 29 minutes as well, he averaged almost a block, 1 steal per game, 10 rebounds, can shoot the three, shot 53% from the field as well in the Ignite. So, I'm really like what Miller can do. I know he's a little bit lower on a lot of people's draft boards, but I really like what he can bring. I think he can fill a massive role.
He's got some upside for sure, and I think that might give you the Griffin of the day.
Wait a minute. That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
Buzz to you, my guy. I actually don't mind that pick for them. I actually think that could be something we see happen on draft day, to be honest. I think
it could be a really good one.
I don't mind it.
Unless if they do Suggs Dick. If they do Suggs Dick, look, I'm not mad about it. I'm not big on Grady Dick, but it would be funny, and it'd be the best one since we had Sexland in Cleveland. So
in Cleveland, yeah, I get that. Yep. Well, then I guess that moves me to 12, where I'm looking about I might be taking some Dick at the 12. I just want to say that while you were saying see with the reaction. I'm going to take the only Dick at the draw. There's probably a few of them from what I've read about their reports. No, look, I don't think I'm going to. I actually think I'm going to. This is the thing about it. I'm actually with you on Bilal. He's young. No. And he's athletic, he defends, and he's got a motor. And if you roll me out there, the Oklahoma City Thunder, that is just a bunch of young dudes who run the basketball court with Shea, who is an absolute elite talent. So I'm sorry, buddy. I am taken by Bilal Coulibaly. Is it Coulibaly?
Coulibaly?
I'm just going to call him Cooley. I'm going to take the Cooley. I'm going to take him to the West Coast. You know what? Here's the West Coast cooler. Here we go. I'm going to take the West Coast cooler, Cooley. He's 18 years old, so he fits on their timeline. They're a young team. They're still developing. He is long, athletic. He needs to work on his shooting, but they say that about everyone that goes to OKC, and look what they do. I'm really liking him. I'm definitely going to take Cooley. Bilal Coulibaly, again, he's one of those young blokes. He's absolutely dominated in the under-21 international competition as well with Wemby. So he's right there. And when you put a generational talent beside someone, what did they do to get a little bit of shine on their name? He's shown that. He's shown that over in the French league as well. Again, playing with grown men, playing with people who play basketball for a living, not just college or, the G League. Yeah, I'm really in on him as a really good steal and fit with OKC. It's just, again, like a lot of blokes. So how many guys do we profile in the NBA that says, oh, that'd be great, Isaac Okoro, if they could shoot? Hey, I'm just going to throw some Cavs love in there. Oh, how we love that. Jared Vanderbilt, incredible defender. Yeah. Would be great if you could put a couple of those buckets in from the corner. So, look, they've got a great development movement over in the Thunder. I'm definitely taking Bilal at 12, which brings you to 13 for the Raptors.
Yeah,
we'll move through these. Let's move through these ones up to 20. Who are you going to take?
Yeah, let's get it. All right, no worries.
Let's get it. Let's go bang bang.
Toronto, I am taking Kobe Buffkin.
The buff stuff.
Really like Buffkin out of Michigan, 6'5". Yep. Really like his shooting ability that he's going to be able to bring. If it translates over, I mean, it's only 35%, 1.3, but he's got a really good stroke. I love it. 4.5 rebounds as well. He's got 1.3 steals. 85% free throw shooting is the reason why I really trust the shot. I know it was a bit rough at Michigan, but I think if they get him those open shots in Toronto, I mean, they've obviously Fred VanVleet's most likely gone. So whoever they bring in, hopefully they can bring around him. He's got a little bit of shot creation, but not a whole lot. But yeah, I like the buff stuff. Oh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Vampire Slayer.
The Vampire Slayer. The Vampire Slayer. There we go. Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe, the Vampire Slayer.
The beefy boy. Look, I don't mind that for you. The man is definitely going to put some buckets. So if you are looking for points later in your draft, this is a guy you could just plug into your squad, especially on those weeks. And again, this is again about the opportunity. The Raptors are going in a new direction right there. There's talk today that the Atlanta Hawks are pretty much looking at trading for Pascal Siakam. As of today, it's like anyone on the organization apparently is up, apart from Trae Young. So that's where if they pull a DeJounte Murray and he goes up north, there's probably going to have a little bit less impact. But there's someone there who can put it in, and he's going to have to work off someone for me.
Although just saying that as well, Matty, with Toronto, it seems like everyone has been linked to Pascal Siakam right now because everyone would like a Pascal Siakam. He's fantastic.
Everyone would love a Pascal Siakam. Everyone would love a Pascal.
The only team I don't like trading for him is the Atlanta Hawks. Like, it's been one season of Murray and Trae together. Let them have a crack. Like, let them gel together. You didn't even give them a chance. There were some games where it went great, some games it went crap, and but just see how it expands. I think they just need to bring a Okongwu in, Capella, get him out. He's pretty much the exact same player anyway. So get him out. Collins doesn't want to be there apparently, so get him out, and then just bring in this power, bring in the power forward.
There's only so much time that your name can be thrown in every single trade in an organization. It's the Jaylen Brown effect. Like, the man's getting a payday, but I'll tell you now, if he did not make an NBA team this year, Jaylen Brown would not be playing in the Boston Celtics this coming season. If it was me, I'd be gone. Only the fact that they can offer me max money now, $295 million, it's almost like you've got to take it straight away. No. You can't say no to it. Like generational wealth, you're not saying no to it. So yeah, I don't mind that pick for you. I'm looking next though. You've taken the Bucks. Pellies. Look,
how much can we say about the Pellies? Like, how much is going on right now? Apparently, everyone's getting traded from the Pelicans.
Which makes this pick kind of easy for me. I'm going to take Derek Lively.
Love it.
I'm going to
love it.
Thank you. I am.
God, so juicy.
Yeah, I'm taking a big center. I'm taking a defensive presence right there because we all know Valanciunas right now is not long for the organization. If they do any trade, I think Val will be included as part of that package. Derek Lively is just strong. He is 7'1", 7'8", another French prospect right there. He's your French boys. Paint me like one of your French basketball players. He has his promise as an outside shooter as well, so he loves the stroke. So look, I'm taking if I'm the Pelicans, I'm taking Derek Lively.
That's a big one about Derek Lively because he was like top 5 coming out of high school looking for this draft because he had the ability to shoot. Duke didn't let him. So if he can come in and he can expand the floor, it's beyond like anyone's expectations of what Lively can do if he can shoot.
I'm going to put it down early. He, for me, will be one of my centers that I'm looking to pick up in the last round. So fantasy impact for me is especially if Val goes, I am taking him. I think they've got Jackson Hayes has been okay in there, but they never trust him on the court as a starter. He might move into that starting role, but then you might be looking at him. He's definitely going to be a stream target for me. But if he gets starting minutes from the get-go and they do something funky with the Pelicans, because we didn't see them live up to the hype last year, I think Derek Lively definitely has potential down the stretch to be putting up some very impressive stats to help you win your category leagues, especially in those rebounds and with good percentages at the end of the year.
100%.
Hawks, 15 pick.
Hawks. All right, shout out.
What goes?
My boy. Right, so you have taken Lively. All right, so we at the Hawks. Okay, so I am going to go. I'm going. So say the Hawks don't blow it up, right? Say they package. Say they do exactly what I would do if I was the GM. Package Collins and Capella. Let's get ourselves a good power forward, whether it be Siakam or another kind of power forward that's not the guy, but give me some defense. That's all I want, and then a bit of shooting. 3-and-D guy, perfect on the wing, perfect. That's all I want. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take Bryce Sensabaugh.
Okay.
Bryce Sensabaugh.
Tell me about it.
7'2" wingspan out of Ohio State, 16 points per game. He averaged almost 2 threes a game on 40% three-point shooting. He had 5.4 rebounds. Not many defensive stats, but he had an 83% free throw as well. So that, like, what I always do is when I'm looking at these three-point shooters, right, I want to see the free throws be able to go in because that really indicates a good set of form on their shot. So he shot 83% from the free throw line. Love that. 40%, I think it's real. I think he's a good shooter. I think it's a shooter off the catch. And I think it's also a shoot that he can do, not a massive amount of dribble, but just a little bit. So I really like Sensabaugh. I think it's going to be, if they stick with Hunter in the starting lineup, and then they have Bogdanovic and Sensabaugh, it can be just them two throwing the ball to each other, shoot a three, let Toby goes in. If not, we'll trust our big boys to get the board. So I really like that if they have that with Murray and Trey to expand the floor. So I like Bryce Sensabaugh there to the Atlanta Hawks. Hopefully I've made Braino proud.
All right, it's then me at 16. The Jazz, courtesy of the Timberwolves. Look, you did really well taking a point guard before with them. I'm actually going to look to back up possibly the point guard spot or look to put some more shooting. So I am going to take the Dick. I'm going to take Grady. Yeah, I'm going to put some shooting around there. Look, he's a terrific shooter. If they're going to pick up that earlier point guard, he's going to get some looks in there. I think he has real NBA value shooting-wise. They're going to want to space the floor. They love to do that with Clarkson currently, so another shooter in the ranks. So I'm looking definitely at taking Grady. I'm taking the Grady fella. He's taken right there, number 16 with the Jazz. We'll fly through these, Skiddy, to the end of the round because pretty much from here out, these are your waiver wire targets, aren't they, mate? These are the guys that you're going to pick up on the waiver wire. You're going to get them some use or when they're filling in minutes, but they're not going to really go too hard for you. So let's go to 17 with the Lakers. Who are they going to pick up?
Lakers. All right. So it's not the best player on my board, but I am going to – it's obviously Lakers. They need shooting. I'm going to take I'm going to take Jordan Hawkins. Yep, Jordan Hawkins. Sorry.
That's not a bad pick.
Yeah, Jordan Hawkins out of UConn, shot almost three threes a game, almost 40%.
Yep.
He doesn't do a whole lot else. His free throws at 88%, so I really, really like his shooting ability. That's all the Lakers want. If LeBron comes back and doesn't retire, please don't retire. LeBron, come on, you're not going to. So, yeah, I'm taking
loving France right now. He's loving France. He's spending some time.
What have you got for the finalists, Miami Heat?
I'm looking at probably Lennon Miller, another Ignite guy, a power forward. He's got really good form.
I've already taken him.
No, you didn't. Oh, you did too, you bastard.
I've already taken
Miller. You did take Miller. I didn't cross it off. You did take Miller. You did take Miller, you savage. Bugging me.
You're not getting Miller.
That was a good early pick. I'm not getting Miller. All right, well, I'm going to take Noah Clowney. I'm going to take Clowns.
Love it.
I like him. He is going to probably play some center minutes in the NBA as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
They need a backup to Bam that's going to be decent, whose name is not Zeller. So basically, okay, so I'm gonna pick down there. I'm gonna go to Noah. I'm gonna cross up Buddy Miller. I thought I was getting a steal. Yes, savage.
Hell no, mate. I'm pretty sure I took him like over 11 or something.
You took him early. Yeah, you jumped on him.
Yeah.
I was still pissed at you for that one.
I'm big on Lennon Miller, man. I really like Miller.
I am. Look, he's got some floor spacing potential as well. We all know they need that. We just watched them in the finals. I'm gonna switch him and take old mate right there.
Yep.
He's done.
The Warriors.
Yep, you with the Warriors.
Right. Warriors, I'm going to take, I know they kind of need a center or something like that, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to take something that fits their scheme. I am taking Jalen Hood-Schifino, baby. 6'5" out of Indiana. Hood-Schifino. Okay, so this is my big thing about Hood-Schifino. I like all of his, his shooting ability, and I really like his percentages and everything like that.
Yep.
He shot 77% from the line, 33 from three, but he didn't get a lot of the ball. And that was because Indiana only ran their whole scheme through Trace Jackson. That's it. So all they asked him to do was stand there and spot up. I think that the Warriors, the way that their development team works, they can get the best out of a lot of people and a lot of shooters. So I really like Jalen Hood-Schifino for the Warriors. Who have you got? Rockets at 20.
Yeah, taking this one from the Clippers. Only because you're here, and I know you probably take him. This fake GM stuff's hard.
Isn't it? I like it, though. Good fun.
It is good fun. Look, I'm still thinking small forwards in their zone. I'm thinking they're just going to put in that forward zone. I don't think they're going guards. I don't think they're getting any more size. If they go for a center, they're going to take James Nagy. If they go to the center, that's where I'm thinking they'll lean towards somewhere around that way, possibly. I mean, don't quote me on that one, but I'm thinking it's definitely a shout if they're leaning in that way to a bigger guy.
Whoa.
So I'm thinking City. I'm thinking City Sissoko.
Oh, love that. Oh,
I'm thinking I like City's game. Oh, you like that one?
I love Sudoku. I really like Sudoku.
Yeah, I just think he profiles really, really well. If he's still around here right now, he's got really great shades for me. He's a strong. He's got a lot of power. He's got athleticism. He's got playmaking ability too. So I think that's going to really transcend to value for him as a player. That's worth his weight in gold. In a Rocket system that's going to hopefully move the ball around a lot more. So I'm going to take City Sissoko, mate, with the 20th pick from the Rockets. The Nets, the 21st pick, going into them from the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, it's such a hard pick, this one, for the Nets, because the Nets have such good depth and they have like everything covered. So what I'm going to do is, if the Nets stay the way that they are, then they are going to just want a guy that doesn't play. They can just bring him through the G League, just let him get ready at his own time, but he's got a lot of potential when he does. So that's why I am taking GG Jackson to the Nets.
Oh,
6'9",
okay.
South Carolina, 15 points per game, very, very young. Youngest bloke in the draft class at 18.5. He has okay percentages. We know that there was the off-court drama that happened around GG. So hopefully, that Nets organization and Jack Vaughn can stamp that out of him. But he has a lot of potential. Good creation for his shot. Good defensive. He's got a great size and a great build around him. If he fills out, he can be an absolute dagger. So I'll take GG Jackson to the Nets, which means,
back to me on the 22nd.
And take another one to the Nets.
I get another Nets, and I'm going to take James Nagy. I'm going to look for a backup for Nick Claxton for another bigger. I'm going to take Nagy. He's got great physical tools, big length. He's sitting there on the board. They probably need some more center minutes. I'm going to back that up and go in and just make it a real simple one. I'm going to go James Nagy with the 22nd pick. 23rd then to you at the Blazers. This one's courtesy of the New York friends.
You could have taken anyone else, and I still wouldn't have taken Nagy. I'm out on him.
You're out on Nagy?
I don't like him.
You're out on him?
No.
Look, I'm just thinking they need to fill in that center spot, so I'm looking around that one, and I'm going there. I'm picking position.
I really
especially I think they're going to do a 1-2 combo. I think they're going to do one with one and one with the other. So that's a really great position for them, and that's where, in the term of a fantasy draft, where you can have if you're at a turn, if you're at that 12th, 13th pick, that first pick, that second round for you, where it comes back, you get the 24th, 25th. You can get a best of both worlds option. So that's what I'm doing there. 23 Blazers from the Knicks with you.
I think just quietly as well, if you didn't take Clowney earlier and Clowney is there for the Nets, he would be amazing on the Nets. Clowney would be a perfect fit for the Nets.
Had to take the Clown.
Yeah, love that. Well, that's why you're such a great GM, Matty. So there you go.
Thank you. Give me an organization chart and I'll do it.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's go head to head. That'd be great. Love that. Me at Washington, you at Brooklyn. Oh, how good. So we've got, Portland Trailblazers. Right. Has anyone, have we taken Keontae George yet?
I don't want to say yes. You haven't taken Keontae yet.
Wait, I'm taking Keontae George then.
The great glass of Picante.
So Keontae George, I think he can fit in very, very well in in Portland. I think I know it's a lot. If Dame does decide to leave, then they can really build around Simons, Sharp, and George. I think that's a really, really good 1, 2, 3 combination right there. Out of Baylor, 15 points per game. It was all right around the stats. Pretty good defensive numbers. His turnovers were shocking, but I think the Baylor kind of system really like hurt him a little bit, but like, his size and his wingspan are there. He can score. If he's, if they get him, the NBA ready to go, I like what Keontae George can bring, and I think he'd be a good fit in the Blazers in the backcourt there. So a bit more defense than Lillard and CJ.
Then I'm looking at the Kings with the 24th pick, and I'm probably going to take the Kings.
Justin's going to be pissed off.
No, Herbie will love this one because they're all about offensive firepower, and I'm taking Nick Smith Jr.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I think he has. I like Nick Smith Jr. I'm looking through, and I'm just trying to find someone. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a dude who can put the ball in the bucket, and they need a shooting guard.
You didn't take Keegan Murray's twin?
Yeah, look, I was thinking about it, but I just can't. I can't. Chris Murray he's great. He's right there. He's on my board. He would be the next that I would take. But look, they'll probably take him, to be honest. If you're a betting man and you have to say, will they or won't they? If you can find that punt, they probably will. And then, but they're both power forwards. So why am I taking two Murrays? I don't want to create a Jalen Williams and OKC situation. Which Murray? What? No. I'm not for that one. I'm not doing that business. I'm getting down there, which is you with the Grizzlies with the 25th, mate.
Yeah, right. Okay. So they obviously need a small forward in this position. Let me just quickly have a look at who you know what? Oh, yeah.
You're doing it? You're taking Brycey?
So if I want to play best player from my board, then I would take a certain player. But I think for the Grizzlies, they can't actually take the player that I have best on my board. So I think that hopefully that you just don't take him.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to take Derek Whitehead out of Duke.
Not bad. Yep.
Yeah.
Small forward, 6'5", 220, 6'9" wingspan. Good pick.
That's good. Yep, absolutely. He didn't get a lot of minutes playing at Duke, but his steal numbers and his defense numbers were very quite nice. He showed a little bit. His 3-point percentage was beautiful at 42%. So I think at that 6'6" frame, he can play that small forward. So I'll take Derek Whitehead, the old pimple boy himself, to the Grizz to replace Shanghai Sharks' newest player, Dylan Brooks.
Well, then I will take from pick 26 the Pacers from the Cavs. Look, he's still about on the board, so I'm probably just going to have to take him by way of do I have to double back and pick it up? He doesn't profile as a great defensive player.
Okay.
But they do need more offense, and I think that in the system they could probably do it. I'm going to take Jet Howard.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jet Howard there, put some more points on the board but he will be irrelevant in your NBA fantasy season. I don't think he'll be a guy you pick up anytime, but he's definitely probably going to be an option around that one. So that'll bring you to 27 for the Hornets from the Nuggets.
27 for the Hornets. This is the easiest one for me. I am taking the best player on my board.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get the pronunciation right. It is Brandon Podziemski, I believe it is. Podziemski, yeah. I have Podziemski actually quite high. 6'4", out of Santa Clara, the same as Jalen Williams from OKC. Scored 20 points per game on almost 50%. Hit 2.5 threes per game at 43%.
At 43.8. You can round it up, Skiddy. Don't talk it down. It's 44%. That's
44%, Matty G. 8.8
and playmaking
rebounds,
as well.
Almost 4 assists, 1.8 steals. Look, everyone wants to say he's coming up against lesser competition. Jalen Williams did the same thing. How good was Jalen Williams this year, Matty G?
Yeah, I reckon he is a sleeper hold for the Hornets. If they're moving things around, he will definitely, based on his preseason form or anything. Again, it's just picking up the right guy in the right spot. Another good option right there, but he definitely has an option if there's moves in the Hornets to impact the tail end of your fantasy season, especially if they go in tank mode. They tend to usually do. All right, then I guess it falls to me at the 28th pick from the 76ers. I'm going to take a New Zealand talent, shooting guard, out of
Yeah.
France, Rayan Rupert.
Yes,
Rupee.
sir.
The millionaire, I'm going to call him,
Yeah,
or the
baby.
billionaire. I'm going to call him the billionaire. Rayan, I
Rupees.
like his rupees. I'm going to take him over at the Pacers. At the Jazz from the 76ers at the 28th pick. 29th pick, our final 2 picks. Let's fire these ones off, Skiddy.
Yeah, look, I've got no one else. No, you know what? Bugger him. I don't like him. Who I got? Pacers? Yeah, nah. Give me how do I pronounce his name again? Olivier Maxence Prosper.
That made no sense whatsoever. Tell Olivia? You're taking Olivier.
How is my en français?
Olivier.
No? Yeah, Prosper.
Lawrence Olivier.
Olivier Prosper or Prosper, whatever the hell he is. He's from Quebec, Canada. So I'm guessing there's a bit of French in there. Out of Marquette. Yep. 12 points per game. 51% shooting. Rate that. He hit a 3 per game at 34%. Like it. Stuff all defense, but I think he's just a little bit of a shooter, and he can bring a little bit to the Pacers at some pretty nice size. I think it's going to be the same like Aaron Nesmith role, but just a bit more size. So hopefully he can bring a little bit more. So a little bit there, and that leaves you at 30 to the
last
Clippers.
pick in the first round. And I'm going to take a center, and I'm going to take Trace Jackson Davis. He's a bit older.
Ooh.
Now, he's just big, and they don't do anything else with that. He is just a big guy. No, I'm looking at guys like Trace. They just need a center. They don't need anything else. They've already got a big lineup. They need a backup to Zubac. If you can defend in the NBA and get some rebounds, that's what they need in their system. So for me, he doesn't need to. He passes out of the post incredibly well. 4.7 assists as a center playmaker is exceptional numbers. He can knock down free throws as well, so he's dependable on the line. I'm looking for that one. That'll be my 30th pick. And Jake Skidmore, that is your potential NBA 23-24 first round.
Yeah, boy. Appreciate you having me on, Matty boy. It's been fantastic. Hopefully we can get some more insight and a bit more love. Everyone else, make sure you get down there, show some love with the subscribe button. Big shout out to Snap Fitness and Standard Squeeze for making this all possible and everything like that. Matty, and thankful most of all to you, my boy, for bringing me on here. Hopefully we can catch up again soon, mate, and bring some more insight for the boys.
We will, mate. You're obviously down for the Cavaliers season preview. We'll do some more real soon. There's your first round, ladies and gentlemen. Punt well, punt happy, and have a sip. We'll see you soon. Take care.